It will have taken a decade plus, but the renovation of Lambeau Field will be paid off next year.
But the sales tax in Brown County will continue for several more years. That's because your tax dollars pay for things like the stadium's electric bill, heating bill, and even security. Fox 11's Robert Hornacek has more on how long we'll be paying the Lambeau tax.
If the 0.5% sales tax was only paying for the stadium, the tax would end next year. That's not the way it was set up. Tax dollars also go to the Packers to operate Lambeau Field and do maintenance work on the stadium. Because of that, the tax will continue for another 4 or 5 years. Remember when Lambeau Field used to look like this? Then came the Lambeau renovation plan. Voters narrowly approved a 0.5% sales tax to pay for most of the construction. What voters probably did not know is what else they were going to pay for.
I would venture to say over 99% of the people that voted on this tax had no idea of what the extent of these operating expenses would be.
Since the renovated stadium opened, taxpayers have paid $16 million of the sales tax to the Packers to pay for part of the cost of operating and maintaining the stadium. Your tax dollars go towards the Packers' light bill, heating bill, water bill. We pay for people to shovel at the stadium. Another place your money goes, police officers and security guards on game day.
It was always considered part of the costs of doing a stadium project.
The Packers call it a partnership. After all, the stadium is owned by the city, so it makes sense, the team argues, for taxpayers to pick up a portion of the costs.
We've always considered it a public asset. It's our home, but it's not owned by the Green Bay Packers. It's owned by this community, and we've treated it that way.
This place is probably as well maintained as any facility in the country.
Pat Webb is with the Stadium District. That's the government board that acts as the landlord for Lambeau Field. The Stadium District Board allocates the money raised by the sales tax. Webb says the bonds used to build the stadium will be paid off next summer, but the sales tax will continue. It's because under the law, the Stadium District has to raise enough money to operate and maintain Lambeau Field all the way through the year 2031. That's when the team's lease with the Stadium District and the city will expire. Once the stadium is paid off, the Stadium Board will need to collect another $60 to $80 million in sales tax. The exact amount is not known because of interest rates. The money will be set aside to help the Packers pay to operate and maintain Lambeau Field.
That is going to add, 3 to 4 years on to the sales tax after the retirement of debt.
Based on Webb's calculations, we'll be paying the Lambeau tax until the year 2014 or 2015.
Are the taxpayers aware that these expenses are being pre-collected?
Richard Perrins is with the Brown County Taxpayers Association. The group opposed the Lambeau plan from the start.
Our association has always felt it's not just a question of fairness, that using taxpayer money to subsidize professional teams or professional interests like this is immoral.
But the situation is unique. The Packers may be private, but their stadium is public. While the taxpayer support helps the team's bottom line, it also helps the community keep up its biggest asset.
It's certainly advantageous for us to have that in place, but we also think it's advantageous for the people in Green Bay and the people who, effectively own the stadium.
The sales tax is scheduled to end in 4 or 5 years. We can't say exactly when because it depends on how much money is collected each year and on interest rates. The only way for the tax to continue would be if state law is changed. At any time, the county could impose its own sales tax. We'll tell you more about that possibility Thursday. Robert Hornacek, Fox 11 News.